Alright, I gotta do a disclaimer because I kind of fucked some shit up, so make sure you watch the whole video before you attempt to do this. I mean, you can still just do it as you go, but if you watch the whole video, you'll understand why you should probably watch the whole video before you do this. But it does work. I just tested it. I didn't electrocute myself. My car's not on fire, so you got a kill switch. You're fucking welcome. What up, y'all? This is Scamp Killer back with another car tutorial. Today we're gonna put a kill switch on my fuel pump so that hopefully any would-be car thieves won't be able to locate it and they won't be able to turn it on, and if they try to steal my car, the fuel pump won't pump fuel and they won't get very far. So first thing we need to do, you're gonna go to the electricals, and you can do this all for under $20. Go to the car store, car parts store. I go to O'Reilly's. They don't pay me, but maybe one day they will. You're gonna get some electrical tape. You're gonna get some parallel connectors. I mean, you don't really need them, but it makes shit kind of easier. You're gonna get some 14 gauge or maybe something even a little bit thicker of wire, and you're gonna get just kind of whatever, you know, switch you want to get, but you got to make sure go into your, is it still recording? Yeah. Go into your your manual or whatever, Google it on the internet and see how many amps the fuse for your fuel pump is, and make sure your switch is rated for more amps than that. Otherwise your switch might get really hot and catch on fire and stuff. And then also make sure that your wire, as you can see, this is rated for a max of 17 amps, and mine has a 15 amp fuse, so I should be good to go, I think. I don't know, maybe my car will catch on fire, but let's hope that doesn't happen. Alright, so our next part, just since we're doing anything electrical, so we're going to go ahead and disconnect the battery. And if you remember from my last video, you want to disconnect your ground first, and then you go ahead and do your positive, and that way you don't fucking accidentally electrocute yourself. That's not good. Alright, so we got our battery, shut up dogs, we got our battery disconnected. And our next phase of operations here is we got to take the seat out and really just kind of pull up on it, and it'll just kind of pop right out. There's some little, you can maybe see these little clip here, so you just kind of push back on those. And can't really, let me see if I can maybe set the camera there. What's it hooking on? I mean, I think it's supposed to just slide out of there. Or something. Let's see. There you go. Alright, so we get that, and then as you can see right there, that's our fuel pump cover thing. So we're going to go ahead and get this seat all the way out and get into there. Alright, so next we're just going to get a Phillips head, or whatever the one with the T is. We're just going to go ahead and take these off, and I don't think you really need to watch me do that. Alright, so now that we got that off, as you can see, we got these wires here, and what you're going to want to do is go on to the Google and figure out I'm not 100% sure. We're going to have to just kind of test this on the go, but you're going to want to splice in, you're going to want to find which wire is your ground. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume it's going to be, I think, either this black one or that black one. Maybe both of them, but you're going to want to, I'm pretty sure the ground. I'll find out. I mean, if it doesn't work and it makes my car blow up, obviously I probably won't upload the video. Alright, so I apologize. It's actually the power. That's the cable you want to splice into. On mine, it's the yellow and the green. So we're gonna do that here in a second, and we'll be right back with you. Alright, so let me just kind of know what this here we're gonna do. We got a box cutter here, so carefully I'm gonna just kind of cut back on this protective layer of rubber and shit, just to expose more of that wire. Being careful not to cut the wires that are inside of there. I mean, we're going to. That's a later step. I mean, it's like the next step, but yeah, just be careful you don't slice these wires while you're doing that. Alright, and then, oh, they're already separated. Alright, so now we're going to move on to our next step. Alright, so our next step is you're going to want to cut 2 pieces out of your wire you got. Depends on where you're going to install your kill switch, how long you want to do it. I kind of just did these a little bit longer probably than I need to. If you've got wire cutters or the things, not wire cutters, wire strippers, you can do that, but it's pretty simple to just give it a little pinch, pull it off, twisty, twisty, twist. And then we're going to come down here and do some cutting and some splicing. Also, you're going to need to get these bad boys ready. I think you can see. Alright, so next we're going to cut this cable. Call it right about there. Go ahead and fucking strip some of this off of here. And just, you know, be careful that you don't accidentally just cut the wire when you're doing this, because then, you know, you don't have a lot of wire to work with, so you gotta be careful. So let me take this bad boy. It should be maybe a little bit more. Alright, I like to just give them a twist and a twist. Next we're gonna get these fucking things out. Open up, fucker. Nice. And we get the leads of our wires here. Yeah, let's get these twisty, twisty, twisty. Stick that through. Twisty, twisty, twisty. Stick that through one side. Get this bad boy. Actually, it might be kind of easier to try that side first. I probably got too small of these things, but it's no worry. Alright, you know what? We're just going to do this the way I usually do wires. Maybe this isn't the smartest. I don't know. So we're just going to take these two ends, kind of untwist them a little bit. Not really fray them out, but kind of just get them a little bit open. I guess if you would have got the right size of those things, you could just use those, but I've done this on a bunch of shit, and it's been all good. So get that. Really want to twist it tight. Beautiful. And then now, kind of like to bend it over on itself, just to make sure we got lots of good contact in there. Now we're going to get our electric tape out. And I'm going to really tape up that end. Where's the start of it? There it is. Come on, baby. Get a good length of it. So you really want to make sure you got that's why you should just use those things. So I guess just buy bigger ones. But electric tape will work. You just got to be a bit more careful. Just want to get that, make sure it's on there nice and tight. And also make sure you go over the edge there a bunch so that you know, don't have any exposed wires from in there, because if you do, then this isn't going to work and it's just going to short out and you might light your car on fire, and that's not really the aim of the kill switch. Is not to kill yourself in a fire. So that really, especially because it's, you know, right here next to your fuel pump. We get that bad boy nice and taped up. And then we're just going to do the same thing on this side, and I don't need to show you guys that, and we'll come back. Alright, so we got both sides all taped up. And like I said, you should probably just use these things and then electrical tape around them, but we're just doing this real fucking ghetto, which you probably shouldn't because this is your fuel pump right here. But lots of electric tape, you'll be good. So, or maybe not, we'll test her. So you got all this electric tape shit on there, and yeah, so now you're going to kind of just like stuff it back into this protective rubber shit, and then we're going to wrap even more electric tape around that, and then probably some Gorilla tape, maybe just electric tape, just electric tape. So just to make sure we're just extra safe with this really unsafe thing. Alright, so now we got our other ends attached to our switch here. I put a little bit of extra electric tape around it because the switch is made out of metal, and you know, electricity is not good. So next we're gonna go ahead and reattach the battery, test this bad boy out. So now comes the moment of truth. Got our switch. Start the car. Car starts. Switch off. Car doesn't start. Switch back on. Car starts. And now also, I do feel like I should tell you, a much more likely safer scenario would be just to splice these wires outside of here away from the fuel pump. But I'd have to put them back together, so I just said fuck it. And because then I'd have to just reattach those wires and I'd still have the same amount of risk, plus another point of you know, janky shit that I did myself. So probably want to go back, if you probably want to watch the whole video before you do this. Maybe I'll throw a disclaimer at the beginning, but you probably want to do this part that I showed you on the other part. But now and then you want to make sure you install your kill switch somewhere, you know, kind of out of the way that, you know, a would-be car thief won't see. And you also want to make sure you put it somewhere where it's not going to get, I don't know how much it cut off, but you're going to want to, when you install your kill switch, like the actual, like, you know, bolt it down somewhere or super glue it somewhere, you're going to want to make sure that you do it somewhere that is like kind of out of the way. So that way, like, any would-be car thieves won't like instantly notice it. And you also want to make sure it's somewhere where it's not going to accidentally get hit, because you don't want to be driving down the highway and you know, have your fuel pump go out. So I'm gonna record a disclaimer, and yeah, so you got a kill switch. Nobody's stealing your fucking car now, buddy.